Hello, this is Jesse Pisors, and I want to answer our discussion post for this week regarding how universities can participate in anti-racism and increasing access and responding in general to the demands that are being heard in society today. I would like to answer this in four questions as they were posed. The first is, the list of demands is long, but what are institutions doing to address these demands? In her paper, White Institutional Presence, the Impact of Whiteness on Campus Climate, Dr. Diane Gusa points out that the third most common place for race-related hate crimes to occur are schools and colleges. In speaking about the role of primarily white institutions, Dr. Gusa says, quote, unexamined historically situated white cultural ideology embedded in the language, cultural practices, traditions, and perceptions of knowledge allow these institutions to remain racialized. What are institutions doing to address the demands of anti-racist voices? Simply put, not enough. Statements, gatherings, and social media posts have some value, but they are not likely to bring the structural change that is being demanded and is needed. Question number two. What is the capacity of institutions of higher education to address these demands? Dr. Krishni Metivier is a doctoral candidate at Duke University who focuses on race and religion. In her article earlier this month in Inside Higher Ed, titled Envisioning Higher Education as Anti-Racist, she identified 3 tiers of anti-racist action that universities can take to, quote, progressively unfold toward a greater embodiment of anti-racist positions for higher education. These 3 tiers are, number 1, a novice level, ensuring responsibility and accountability. So, for example, at this tier, universities could publicly take responsibility for their college's historical participation in racism and discrimination and acknowledge who has benefited and who has been disadvantaged or harmed. Tier number 2, intermediate level, she lists as countering and redressing a legacy of racism. This could include eliminating legacy and donor considerations and applications. And then, as tier number 3, she lists advanced, enacting an equitable anti-racist society, an example of which would be divesting from prisons, parole and bail corporations, and prison vendors. The third question, are there other entities who must also be involved outside of higher education? Who are they? Well, institutions of higher education can and must take the lead, but as they move forward in anti-racism, their progress will be strongest if they are accompanied in this effort by a number of partner organizations. These could include campus vendors such as bookstore and dining providers, state and local government collaborations, local nonprofits, and K-12 schools. The last question is, what is our role as educators in bridging the gap between educational institutions and other entities to create the type of paradigm shift that college and university students are demanding? Higher education has supposedly always existed to advance human learning and culture. We train leaders and we need to be leaders. In bridge building, someone has to take the first step to reach out to the other entities and organizations who need to be part of an anti-racist and equality solution. Higher education leaders and institutions need to take that first step. In closing, here is one overarching query that pertains to this topic but was not addressed in the readings offered. How can university fundraising or advancement offices embrace and participate in their institution's commitment to fight against racism and in support of equality? Thank you very much.